After hearing what Liang said, Charlie suddenly felt that Liang was a bit similar to himself. Once upon a time, he was also an orphan and rubbish who was humiliated and bullied by others. When Stephen Thompson found him and handed over the Emgrand Group and a tens of billions of premium cards to his hands, it truly ushered in a turning point in his life. Later, he accidentally got the 9 profound heaven scriptures by accident, and made himself soar into the sky. And once, when he was spurned by everyone, how could he be waiting for an opportunity to prove myself to everyone, waiting for an opportunity to slap everyone who despised him? Therefore, he can understand Liang's feelings well. A child who has been scolded as a wild breed since childhood, his mother died and went to his biological father's house, and suffered even greater torture, and after 20 years, the degree of tolerance in his heart was even higher than his original self. Thinking of this, Charlie has decided to help him and help him gain control of the entire Wei family. It just so happened that his bastard brother was his enemy, and his 1,000-year-old snow ginseng was exactly what he needed urgently. So Charlie said, "Liang, since you want revenge so much, then I can help you." When Liang heard this, he knelt on the ground with excitement, knocked his head to the ground, and said loudly, "Thank you, Mr. Wade, for your generous help. Liang will never forget it." Charlie gave a hum, helped him up, and asked, "Where is Fredman now?" "He's at the Wei's house." Liang said hurriedly, "The ulcer in his place cannot be treated, so he temporarily received anti-inflammatory and antibacterial treatments at the house." Charlie nodded and said, "If this is the case, then go and treat him." After speaking, Charlie said again, "But I'm telling the ugly things first. I only care about his festering things. As for the things he can't use, I don't care." Liang said hurriedly, "Mr. Wade can rest assured that he can't use it here. It has nothing to do with my Wei family. The Wei family only needs to help him prevent the fester, even if it is cleaned up with him." Charlie smiled slightly. "Okay, then let's go now." Liang nodded in excitement. "Okay, Mr. Wade." At this time, almost everyone in the living room of the Wei's villa was concentrated here, and their expressions were extremely anxious. The deadline given by Fredman was already near. Everyone went out for a long lap, but no one found a solution to Fredman's troubles. Fredman's expression was also very gloomy. At this time, he was still infusing fluids. Antibiotics could only slow down the speed of his festering, but still could not stop the festering footsteps. Right now, his pain was beginning to get worse and the situation was getting worse. Fredman saw that the Wei family went out one by one, and came back one by one. Everyone was almost back. He couldn't help but shouted in anger, "What? You haven't found a way to heal me?" Everyone looks embarrassed and panicked but dare not to answer him. Fredman looked at the Wei family patriarch coldly, and shouted, "Yongjung, haven't you thought of a way?" Yongjung trembled in his heart and quickly said, "Don't worry, Fredman. I have sent someone to find a famous doctor for you in other places, and I have also mobilized the Wei family's contacts in the pharmaceutical industry to find some broader and more powerful antibiotics will definitely cure you." Although that was the case, Yongjung had no idea in his heart. It was originally hoped that Barena could invite Tianqi, but Tianqi didn't give him any chance at all. After he was driven out of clinic by Tianqi, he went to find a few famous traditional medicine doctors in Orus Hill, but when everyone heard it was Fredman, no one wants to come. The things that Fredman couldn't do in Orus Hill had long been spread, and the things that caused ulceration there by taking medicine indiscriminately were well known. Moreover, the doctors at the People's Hospital had already said that his condition was the only way to amputate his limbs. Who would dare to be in trouble at this time? If it is not cured, not only will be ridiculed, but Fredman may also retaliate. After all, the Wei family was retaliated by him for giving the wrong medicine, so that they would seek doctors for help. Barena searched a lot, but couldn't find anyone to treat Fredman. In desperation, he could only return home temporarily. The experience of other Wei family members is similar to that of Barena. Anyway, as soon as everyone heard that it was treating Fredman, 11 of the 10 doctors were unwilling to come, and they would not come for any amount of money. Upon seeing this, Yang Zheng felt that the future of the Wei family was dim. The speed of Fredman's festering was not too slow. At this speed, he estimated that he would be rotten in 2 days. By that time, the Wei family was afraid that he would not know how to die. Barena on the side couldn't help pulling Yang Zheng aside, and said in a low voice, "Dad, what should we do now? Shall we run away?" Yang Zheng turned sullenly, turned his head to look at him, getting more angry as he watched, and whispered, "You know how to escape, where can you escape? Do you think Fredman won't bother us if we escape Orus Hill?" After that, Yang Zheng looked at him annoyed, and blurted out, "I asked you to ask Tianqi to come over anyway, but you came back alone. You're really useless." Barena said dissatisfied, "Dad, you can't blame me. Tianqi, the old master, heard that he wanted to treat Fredman, but he immediately refused. It was clear that he and Fredman had hatred. What can I do?" Yang Zheng raised his hand and slapped him in the face and angrily scolded, "This has always been the case since childhood. If something happens, you will shirk responsibility. If you can't bring Tianqi, do you think you are not to blame? Then have you thought about it? Want to win over Fredman and give Fredman a drug that has not been clinically verified?